Hello there, I'm Matty from Team Cycles, and today I'm going to run you through how your bike is delivered if you bought someone online, and how it gets delivered to your door, and how you are going to find it in the box and unpack it, and run you through how you're going to put your bike together for your first ride. And I'm going to run you through the tools you're going to need, which is general multi-tool, which will have anywhere from a 2.5, 2mm, 3mm Allen key, which you'll need for your stems to straighten your handlebars and make sure they're all tight for your ride. You'll need a pedal spanner for your pedals, which is quite unnecessary because you can use a 15mm spanner, but it might not fit between the crank arm and the pedal. And just something sharp to cut through all the straps that we strap our bike boxes up to keep them safe. Give us me box. Right, this glorious bit of cardboard is how your bike will arrive to your front door, with some nice black strapping on to keep your bike safe while it's in transit. Use whatever sharp object you've got, i.e. scissors, whatever, just to go through and cut your strapping off. And try not to cut yourself. We'll have some tape on the box, again just another bit to keep it safe. So just go through and cut all of that. Once open the box, it'll look something like this. So it's got our little bits of shredding, and there is your first look at your new bike in its box. It'll have two sleeves in, and in one of them will be your parts box. That's how it'll look in the box. So you've got a set of pedals, right on the left. That is a little 6mm Allen key, just for your through axle on the rear. And you get a nice little bell, and just all your leaflets. How to have more fun on your new track bike. You'll want to remove both these cardboard sleeves, and then your bike will just lift out. If you want to grab the back of the saddle, top of the handlebar, and it will just lift out as so, and will look something like that. To get started, your stem bolts will already be tight, so if you want to just remove them. Now it's time to straighten your handlebars and make sure the stem's all tight. So this is how your bike will come out the box. The handlebars turn on the side for convenience of yourselves. Now, if you want to grab your 4mm Allen key on your multi-tool, you're going to have two pinch bolts on your stem. So if you want to go undo them, we simply just turn the handlebars. Now, I generally close one eye, look down the stem, and if you come here, so in this little gap here, you can generally look at these two tread lines, and that's generally in the center. Sometimes this top cap here, which is like a compression cap, can come loose with them turning the stem, so just make sure it's nipped up that little bit. It's just to compress where the top cap goes on the top of the frame, just to stop that little bit of head rock. So if you want to go ahead and tighten these two pinch bolts up, you don't have to be mega tight, but give them a nice good nip up on both sides, as even as possible. So again, it doesn't have to be too tight. And if you want to just chalk your legs between the front wheel, just give it a little bit of a wiggle, just to make sure it's not going to move. Now, time for saddle height. So most saddles will come with a saddle down, depending on the box that it's come in. And for nice and ease, you've got what's called a quick release lever. So you want to just pull that out, and that allows the seat post to come up and down to the height needed for your customer or for whoever's bought the bike. And when you're tightening it up, once you're making it sure it's straight, level in with the top tube, once you're tightening it, it should leave a little imprint in your hand, where it has done with mine there, just to stop it from moving about and stop it from wobbling while you're riding. Last thing to do on your bike when it's come in a big box like that is get your pedals, which you will have a left and a right. Cut them out of the packaging. Once you've got your pedals out of the packet, you want to find your right one and your left one, which sometimes have a sticker on here, which will be left and right depending on what pedals you've got. The left pedal always have these ridges on them, and that just symbolises the left, where the right hand side smooth on the 15mm bolt. This is ridged. Sometimes on the inside of these, they've got an R and a left. but you've got to look quite hard because it's black. You want to use a little bit of anti-seize grease or lithium grease, whatever you've got in the house, just to help prevent them getting seized into your crank arms. You don't need a load, just enough to stop them from seizing in. Sometimes you don't need a pedal spanner, because as you can see, they'll have like a 6mm Allen key in there, which generally comes on every multi-tool, which just slots in. We'll use a pedal spanner for this just because it's easier. So if you come to the bike, sometimes they'll have little bits of cardboard just to protect the cranks. So if we take our right pedal first and just simply stick it in the crank arm, and sometimes you've got enough to just pinch around with your thumb and finger. There we go, so we'll catch a thread. Just be careful not to cross thread them, as that is quite a common problem. And if you just pedal it backwards, it will naturally tighten itself on. And if you take your pedal spanner or your Allen key and just simply push down, just enough to tighten it up, not excessive because you don't want to strip the threads. And now come back round and do the same with the left side, which is exactly the same, it's just on the left side of the bike. Once you've caught a thread, wind it all in, stick your pedal spanner on and just push down and get a nice bite on it. And that's how your pedals come in your house. And now you can take all your packaging off and get ready to ride your new bike. Rear derailleur guard, and it just slides out because you don't really want to be riding with that in. Reveal your glorious purple Marlin 5. You shouldn't need anything to cut these off, it all just kind of pops off. Using just a little Phillips screwdriver, just to tighten your reflector up. Sometimes they do come loose because they do slide along the handlebar while they're in the box. Little bell, which again is just a Phillips screwdriver that most multi-tools have. Just position that wherever you want it. That's your bike all nice set up, all ready to ride. All brakes, gears and bolts are all tightened up in-house by your stem bolts, and it's all checked for us. If you've bought an e-bike, all the electronics, all the updates needed doing, everything's checked for an e-bike and everything's done, so you don't need to touch anything like that. But any problems, any queries regarding the bike, once you've got it, number will be here and an email over here, and happy riding.